What up, Dokkaners? Let me know if this sounds like you from recent videos in the comments, all right? Just let me know. Toon, 5 stones in a dream. Toon, I'm down bad. I got no stones. Hey, Toon, you think I could pull them in 30 Dragonstones? If I'm describing you, hello. How you doing? How you doing? I know that some of you guys are kind of reeling right now. You don't have enough stones to summon on the 7-year anniversary, and it's kind of sad to know that. But you know what? I understand why. All the temptation that's been hitting us throughout the entirety of this year, it's been tough, and I understand why sometimes resisting the temptation is just impossible. But let's face facts. We are now facing the 7-year anniversary. What can you possibly do right now to get some stones before the 7-year anniversary? Of course, you could whale your way there. You could buy your stones, but if you can't do that, what are we gonna do? Well, the trick is when the celebration actually starts, we're gonna have about a day or a day and a half before the actual banners come out, which means you've got about a day or a day and a half, maybe a little longer, to capitalize on all of the content that's going to be made available for you day one. This video is all about how many stones you can get day one from the 7-year anniversary. This is a very important one for a lot of you new players, or those of you who, like I said, couldn't resist the temptation. So let's just go through this. We're going to start and kind of reverse engineer this. We're looking at the Dragonstone count from the anniversary, from the JP side of the game, but we're going to reverse engineer this because not everything is going to count here. We are looking at strictly day 1 or day 2-ish events. So let's just start from the top here. The daily login, we obviously can't count all of this because this covers the entirety of the celebration. Can't count that. Same with the daily missions, so we're going to ignore those. But the dragon ore conversion happens right away. So that's going to be the very first thing that we're going to count. That is 77 Dragonstones. Hopefully, you guys have finished all of the 7-year anniversary countdown missions throughout. I did videos on them constantly, just shoving them in your face to remind you to get them done. So hopefully you have all 77 dragon ores ready to go. Boss Rush. Let's take a look at Boss Rush. That's down here. Boss Rush is basically a sequence of Dokkan events, all in non-stop fashion. There is no increase in difficulty. They are simply just Dokkan events. So if you can take on one, you can take on all 5. You can still use items. It is a very easy event that takes a little bit of time, but the best part is you get free stones. 35 dragon stones to be exact per completion of the boss rush. So we're going to add those 35 right away because this can be done as soon as the campaign starts, as it shows right here. The 29th of January is the number we're looking for because this is the JP campaign details. Moving on in the list here, what do we got next? We've got the new missions for the legendary Goku event and the Vegeta event, and we can only earn up to 10 dragon stones each. So what that means is that only 2 missions for each one is going to be made available, when in reality there's actually a total of, I think, 8 missions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 new missions that are going to be released, but the first 2 are going to be released initially. So whatever those 2 missions are, you can simply take those on and get them done. Even if it's Fused Fighters or Beyond Super Saiyan, the 2 new units or the 2 new categories, you can still put those teams together without the 7-year anniversary LRs. For example, let me show you quickly on Beyond Super Saiyan. If we take this one out, you could probably put together a Goku's family team, a powerful comeback team, a final trump card, or a Kamehameha team. There are a lot of different teams that you can create within the Beyond Super Saiyan category, and same goes for Fused Fighters. So that being said, no matter which 2 categories release first, you have a chance to get them done. Again, depending on who you are as a player, you might or might not be able to do it, but we're gonna, for the sake of this video, just count that. So we're gonna count the 10 Dragonstones here and here, so that's 20 more. So let's add that 20, okay, 132 Dragonstones so far. All right, now let's move on here. New stages of Dokkan events. This obviously wouldn't count because these won't be available day 1. They will only release when the units actually release on the banner, which means we can't access these, so we have to skip that. Burn, Marriage, Decisive Battle, Big Circle. So these are the 3 story events for the free-to-play units, the 2 combo TURs and the free-to-play LR combo unit. Bulma Vegeta, Goku Chi-Chi, and the LR hybrids. So these are also going to be incrementally spread out throughout the entirety of the celebration. For the first part, you're only being introduced to the character where you can earn an SA10, open up all the paths, and you can earn up to a grand total of 7 Dragonstones for the first 2 and 8 for the LR stage. So we're just going to count all of them, 14, 18, so that's 22. So let's add 22 into the pile here. 154 Dragonstones so far. Moving on now to the ultimate red zone, the NFL red zone. These events are actually going to be made available right as the celebration starts. Why? because they want you to experience the horror of these events and understand that you need to have the 7-year anniversary LRs. But here's the thing, folks. We global players in the very unique position of not necessarily having to be in that particular scenario. We have been given access to other 200% leads before the start of the 7-year anniversary, and this gives us a monumental advantage over the JP players who, when they first experienced this, they didn't have the luxury of having another 200% lead. This was the first celebration that held 200% leader units, but now Global has the Majin Vegeta and the, what's the other one? The Super Saiyan Gohan and the Cell. So those units are going to be very important and instrumental in getting a head start on these events. So if you guys want to, you can take on these events and get as many of them done as you possibly can. Since all 12 Dragonstones are being made available, I'm assuming that means you can take on all 6 stages on each version. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Okay, so I think that means that you can only do a couple of them. So maybe not all of them, but you can earn up to a grand total of 12, because since there's 7 stages, I think a couple of them are being saved for the second part. I think that's how it goes. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the missions as well. Yeah. So with only 12 Dragonstones, that's a slow burn. Okay. So we'll just count this. I think it's safe to, you know what, actually, I'm not going to count it. Just for the sake of it actually being difficult, I'm not going to count it. But for those of you who are very confident in your Dokkaning abilities, feel free to count this. We'll add that. We'll mention that buffer at the end of the video. So 24 Dragonstones, feel free to add it if you want. Soaring Spirit Clash Between Rivals. This is simply the skill orb stage, 1 Dragonstone for completing it. This is available right away. This is nothing difficult at all. So we're going to add the 1 Dragonstone here. Again, we are skipping the 24. The 7th Anniversary Clash. This happens after the anniversary LRs actually release. So we cannot count this. This does not count as a day 1 event. Co-op campaign, SNS campaign. These, actually, the SNS campaign might count. This one I think releases as the celebration actually kicks off, right? Yeah, this one kicks off right away. I don't remember exactly how the missions go. But we'll just add it. We'll just add the 3 Dragonstones, so we'll make that 158. First rank and live stream thank you reward. This one obviously is dependent on whether or not we have a live stream or some sort of a Dokkan video premiere, which at the moment I don't know. So I'm not going to count this, but if you want to add that to the buffer, feel free. But that is pretty much it, folks. So if we were to add those extra 24 stones, then we would say that you can pick up a grand total of 182 stones, theoretically, on the first day of the 7-year anniversary. So if you are someone who is inhaling massive copium because you have 3 Dragonstones, change that, folks. You could potentially have 185 Dragonstones. Or if you want to subtract the 24, that's fine too. You could probably end up with 161 Dragonstones instead. That is still a pretty good deal, because with those amount of stones, you can do 3 multis along with a disc or a free multi on top of that. That's pretty good. 7-year anniversary rules, folks. We cannot wait. Just get it here fast. My gosh, I am so bored. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below and let me know in the comments, how many stones do you think you'll be able to extract from the 7-year anniversary on the first day? Did I miss anything? Do you have anything more to add? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe for more dope content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned and always remember to farm those stones responsibly.